and gentlemen, welcome to Ohio University's annual commencement exercises. As chair of the Ohio University Board of Trustees, I am privileged to convene this, the 2015 graduate commencement ceremony, and to welcome the graduates who are being honored today, members of their families, and their friends. Now I'm pleased to introduce the presentations of the colors, which will be escorted by our Army ROTC. Following the presentation, please join Ms. Erica Hopkins, who graduates this morning with a master's degree in vocal performance for the singing of our national anthem. She will be accompanied by Ohio University Wind Symphony under the direction of Dr. Andrew Traxel, Associate Professor of Music and Bands. I now ask you to please rise.
Please be seated. Good morning and welcome, graduates. As president of Ohio University and on behalf of our faculty and staff, I am delighted to welcome family, friends, and most especially our graduates to this morning's graduate commencement ceremony. As we begin this ceremony, I would like to recognize the distinguished guests who are with us this morning. I ask that they stand as I introduce them and remain standing. Audience, please hold your applause until all guests have been introduced. Please join me in welcoming members and officials of Ohio University's Board of Trustees. our academic officials, our administrative officials, representatives of our faculty senate, distinguished members of our faculty, and our speaker for this morning's commencement, the 2014 Outstanding Graduate Faculty Award recipient, Dr. Thomas Vanderbilt. You've already met the important people seated behind the platform party, the Ohio University Wind Symphony, and Dr. Traxler. I would also like to acknowledge some special guests who are seated to my left in the lower balcony. Members of my executive staff, guests of our platform party members, and our special honorees. I would especially like to recognize Mohammed Youssef Pashtun, Senior Advisor to the Afghan President on Water, Construction, Mines, and Energy. Minister Pashtun is celebrating the graduation of his son, Hashim Pashtun, who is receiving a Master of Science in Civil Engineering. Minister Pashtun is joined by his daughter, Lamia Pashtun. With the fine faculty of Ohio University, please stand and be recognized. On behalf of our graduates, thank you for your creativity, passion, and dedication. You have prepared this next generation of thinkers, leaders, scholars, and innovators to succeed in their chosen fields. Thank you for all you do each and every day, and for your commitment to our students, these graduates, and Ohio University. Marks the 200th anniversary of our first commencement. 200 years since our first graduates received their diplomas. As graduates who stand on their shoulders, you are a living testament to the transformative power of an Ohio University degree. Contrary to today's ceremony, which will graduate 1,120 students, Ohio University's first commencement had a class of 2. John Hunter and Thomas Ewing. Following the untimely death of John Hunter, just 1 year later, Thomas Ewing became the sole alum, and hence the hope of Ohio University's inaugural class. He did not disappoint. Thomas Ewing's graduation from Ohio University served as a springboard for a life of impact. As a United States Senator, as Secretary of Treasury, as Secretary of the Interior, and as an advisor to 4 United States presidents. 2 centuries later, his example continues to be a point of pride for our university community and an inspiration to the millions of graduates who have followed in his footsteps. I suspect that when your name is called later this morning, you will feel a sense of accomplishment and pride in your Ohio University journey. But I also hope that you will feel a sense of responsibility to your family and friends, to your neighbors and communities, and to the generations of Bobcats that will follow in your footsteps. Like Thomas Ewing, I hope that you will reach for the highest star as a graduate of Ohio University. Like Thomas Ewing, I hope that your Ohio University degree will serve as a springboard to a life of impact. This is the journey we have prepared you for. This is the journey we celebrate today. Graduates, this day is your day. We honor your achievement, your commitment, and your passion. And we welcome you with open arms into your Ohio University alumni family. Please stand and be recognized. It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Pengyuan, our Executive Vice President and Provost, to announce the 2015 Distinguished Professor Award recipient, Dr. Pengyuan.
Good morning, and welcome graduates and guests. As the Chief Academic Officer of Ohio University, I'm elated to come before this assembly today in honor of your accomplishments. We're most fortunate to have extremely capable faculty members at Ohio University. Through the Distinguished Professor Award, which was established in 1959, we recognize scholarly accomplishment, professional reputation, and contribution to the university. Considered the university's highest academic honor, recipients receive a lifetime designation, 1 semester professional leave, and the privilege of naming 1 undergraduate student annually to receive the Distinguished Professor Scholarship. Please join me in congratulating the 2015 Distinguished Professor, Dr. Jerry Bate. I want to tell you a little bit about her. Will she please stand? Good. I can't see her. As the Russ Professor in the Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering, Dr. Bate is internationally recognized as a leader in the development of innovative solutions to alternative energy and environmental issues. Perhaps her most acclaimed invention is the ammonia catalytic electrolyzer technology, which efficiently converts ammonia into hydrogen to produce inexpensive fuel. To put it more simply, Dr. Bate has harnessed the power of P. In addition, Dr. Bate's technologies are being used to clean water as well as diesel and power plant emissions. Dr. Bate has received millions of dollars in private and government research support and millions pending to develop her research for the marketplace. She has 20 patents and
I think I'm conducting an experiment here on that. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks to President Davis and the students that nominated me. It was a great honor to receive this distinction and a tremendous opportunity to be asked to give this address. It's also a little horrifying. I'm live in concert at the time. I've been thinking about this address on and off for a year now, and every once in a while someone on campus or in town would say, hey, I heard you're giving the grad commencement speech. Are you nervous? Aren't you nervous? That's a terrible question. But I'd say no, it's going to be fine. And then on April 7th, I received an email from someone in the president's office reminding me about my commencement address. I was reminded that my speech should be about 8 minutes and that it should be inspirational. Okay, so inspirational 8 minutes. Okay, now I'm nervous. I'm not sure I know how to be inspirational. So I Googled inspirational commencement addresses. This was a big mistake. I learned that Steve Jobs, the founder and CEO of Apple Incorporated, gave an inspirational commencement address at Stanford University. And during his address, he told a story about how he built the first Apple computer in his garage when he was 20 years old. It's amazing. He built a computer, the first one in his garage when he was 20. Currently, I'm too scared to go into my garage. We treated it like kind of a dumpster, and I think there's a raccoon family living there. So my story is much different from his. Still searching for a theme for this talk. I had a simple revelation, and that is, I'm not sure how to be inspirational, but I can tell you what has inspired me. And since I'm a sociologist, I can tell you my story and describe my journey, yours using my sociological imagination. That's Amy, I think. As a professional, my story is pretty simple. I owe everything to the social support, social capital, and the love, guidance, and mentoring that I received from my academic family. Sociologist Pengyuan defines social support as emotional, informational, practical assistance from significant others, such as family, friends, family members, co-workers. Social support is generally regarded as a positive resource. For you graduates, this concept is relevant because of the mentoring you receive and the support network you certainly do upon finishing your degree. Most of you are here in part because somebody believed in you. Who is that person? It might be your thesis advisor, or a great undergraduate professor, or a high school teacher, or a coach. Everyone in this room can picture that person, or the people who saw your potential and nurtured it. Someone collaborated with you in a way that changed your life and theirs. Yes, it changed their life too. That's the thing about social support. It's mutually beneficial. It's good for the giver and the receiver. Have you ever heard that folk expression, it's better to give than to receive? I remember as a kid thinking that sounded insane, because I liked gifts, but, and most religions have their own version of this expression. You know, it's more blessed to give than to take, something like this. But sociologists, I think, are pretty good at testing the assumptions surrounding folk expressions like this. So is it really better to give than receive? Guess what? Scholars have actually found that in many contexts, the giving of social support is more beneficial than receiving. In a recent study, people who gave instrumental and expressive supports to friends, families, and coworkers lived longer. Those who give social support are less distressed, have better physical and mental health, and are generally happier. Social support is a resource, a safety net, a defense system against criticism and injustice, a fund to draw upon when facing disappointments, life cruelties, and the negative outcomes we will all experience. And people with the social support network allow themselves to take calculated, pro-social risks because we know there will be someone there to catch us if we fall. And it's no accident that nations with institutionalized webs of support have less crime and better mental health. Criminologists have shown that coercion and punishment doesn't work. Programs and policies that engender and reproduce love and empathy and community responsibility do work. What's the point of all this? I'll just talk about social support. Well, for one thing, it's that being a mentor to young scholars is the most satisfying role I play as a professional, and it's a role that you can look forward to, all of you graduates. The point is also to remind you that you are all the product of a tremendous amount of social support, so am I. I'm inspired by my academic family, my mentors, research collaborators, and students I've had the honor to work with. That's my academic family. My actual family, my wife and kids, are here today sitting with your parents and loved ones somewhere. Hi, guys. This is a special weekend for us. My daughter Tori's graduating with her bachelor's degree here at OU tomorrow. Tori will tell you that her journey was made possible by the great support she received from her first academic advisor, Patty McSteen, her major advisor, Joan George, and her favorite professor, Greg Jansen. My son Stan is graduating this month from Athens High School, and I know he owes a great debt to the inspired teachers and coaches that mentored him. Stan will be attending OU in the fall, and we are truly a Bobcat family. I'm naming names because I think it's important to know your family history and to honor it. I know my academic family history. You see, all of us are the product of centuries of mentoring. Here's where my sociological imagination comes in. I see myself situated in a giant academic family tree that I can trace back for several generations. My first mentor was Mark Holden, George Mason University. He made me believe that I could do things that I never thought were possible. My dissertation advisor and mentor at the University of Cincinnati, my academic father, was Frank Cullen. He changed my life. He taught me to vote my conscience and do my share of the work and to fight for things I believe in and fight for the people who are close to me. So again, I can trace this back. So his mentor was Richard Cloward at Columbia University, famous delinquency theorist. His mentor was the great Robert Merton, who's one of the great American sociologists. That's my academic grandfather. So the mentoring I received was centuries in the making. I'm proud, like a parent, of my many academic offspring. So I told you I was going to name names here. I wasn't their only mentor, but our time working together meant a lot to me. The students I think of as part of my academic family include amazing students like Lauren Wright, Brandon Pugh, Holly Yingard, Patrick O'Brien, Jeff Beck, Josh Mound, Rebecca Rafferty, Harrison Burrell, Natasha Lawrence. And my family also includes Leah Butler, Amy Slavin, and Clara Fessmeyer, and they're all sitting with us here today. And you guys know I'm so proud of our family. I brag about you all the time, like that grandmother that shows pictures of her grandchildren to complete strangers. So, that's my story. Professionally speaking, I was raised by Frank Cullen and generations of mentors. So, I want to ask you, who raised you? And have you told them what they meant to you? You should. And don't simply thank them. Tell them what they did for you. It will mean a lot to them. Those of us who mentor emerging scholars and professionals don't do it for the money. Well, maybe we do a little bit, because it's our job. But we didn't choose this line of work because we thought it would make us rich. For most of us, it was a calling. For me, working with students has been the single greatest joy of my career. My publications will eventually go out of print, and my identity as a teacher and scholar will soon disappear from the internet. But whatever positive impact I've had on my students will live forever through the magic of cumulative mentoring. Mentoring reproduces itself. My hope is that our academic offspring will share their craft and passion with their academic children. I'm excited. I'm going to be a grandparent. And I'm excited for you because you get to mentor someone like you. I'm not here to tell you that it's your duty or obligation. I'm telling you that you get to do this. I want you to know that you will have this opportunity to share your passions and training with young scholars and professionals, whatever your discipline. Sociology, philosophy, physics, engineering, public administration, whatever, you'll have that opportunity. Nobody told me in grad school that mentoring would be this fulfilling. It was a happy discovery, and you all get to do this. In the aforementioned April 7th email, it was also suggested that I offer some advice to you all. So here it goes. I have a list. Number one, you could build a computer in your garage. Number two, tell your mentors what they meant to you and know that you meant a great deal to them. Get to know your academic family tree, recognize your heritage, get to know your academic ancestors. How did you come to see the world the way that you do? Recognize your mentors changed your life and you changed theirs. Get a sense of the ideas and values that were passed down to you and develop a plan to pass them down to others. Keep in touch with your academic family. They're a great source of social capital. This includes your mentors, but also your academic siblings that work with you to defend each other against the stresses and frustrations of graduate school. And if you feel you don't have an academic family, start one. Pass on your craft and passions to someone else, someone like you. Raise someone up, someone like you. Change someone's life and let them change yours. Go out there and procreate in an academic family kind of way. We want academic grandchildren. And the best thing you can do for all of us, your Ohio University family, is to go out there and do great things and continue to make us proud. And finally, remember, we're here if you need us. You know where to find us. Please keep in touch. We're really going to miss you. Thanks.
Words of wisdom and inspirational, Tom. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Graduates, each of you is achieving a personal milestone today. And each of you has had special support in achieving your educational goal. For many of you, it was your parents. For others, it was your spouse or significant other. Your children, family members, your colleagues, or your very good friends. They were there for you each step of the way, believing in and encouraging you when you yourself may have had some doubts. Graduates, before we award the degrees you have worked so very hard to earn, please take just a moment to stand and say thank you to everyone in the audience who has supported you during your educational endeavor. Regardless of your approach, your graduation represents what lives within you. Passion, determination, hope brought you to this moment. Each of you has brought your unique characteristics and special talents to Ohio University, and you have made our university richer by your presence. For that, we thank you. Congratulations, graduates. Vice President for Research and Creative Activity and Dean of the Graduate College, to present the candidates for doctoral degrees.
Thank you, President McDavis. The Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Audiology, and Doctor of Physical Therapy are the highest academic degrees in their fields granted by American universities. They are awarded to those who have demonstrated academic or clinical mastery in their field and successfully completed and defended a dissertation. The faculty member accompanying the doctoral candidate is either the student's major advisor or another faculty member who has been closely associated with the student's academic program. Candidates for Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Audiology, and Doctor of Physical Therapy degrees, please stand. President McDavis, these students have completed all the requirements for their doctoral programs. Accordingly, I have the very great honor of presenting them to you for conferral of their degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Ohio University Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Audiology, or Doctor of Physical Therapy, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. We welcome you into the company of scholars.
Candidates for Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Audiology, and Doctor of Physical Therapy degrees, please come forward.
Ellen Gordon, escorted by Dr. Keith Markman. Dorian Bloom, escorted by Dr. Keith Markman. John Henry Booker III, escorted by Dr. Mark C. McMillan. Lulu Al-Essa, escorted by Dr. Sergio Lopez Perú. Nicholas Paluski, escorted by Dr. Sergio Lopez Perú. Matthew Daniel Jacobs, escorted by Dr. Chester Patch. Christina Marie Darius, escorted by Dr. Christine Giddich. Erica Lou Kelly, escorted by Dr. Christine Giddich.